Kirk is a spokesperson for the jail opposition group, a longtime resident of North Grenville, and an active member of our community. So welcome, Kirk.
Thank you, Colleen. And yes, the writing has continued. More recently, the invitation to the Ministry of the Solicitor General to come meet with us face-to-face on November 17th, right here in Kemptville. Who doesn't like getting an invitation, right? We extended the invitation to them, but they haven't RSVP'd yet, and now I'm wondering if they will. Before I start, I want to acknowledge the great efforts by so many in our community taking our opposition to a new level. The last few months have been hectic. Front page articles in prominent newspapers, radio and TV newscasts, a rally in Brockville at MPP Clark's office, a complaint to Elections Ontario lodged by our MPP Steve Clark, a press conference with the Canadian Civil Liberties Association, articles in many local papers, people like Sarah, Dawn, and Chris, and many, many others who communicate publicly on social media and through letters to Doug Ford, Sylvia Jones, Steve Clark, and our mayor. All of us have been very busy, and there's still very much more to do. So good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending today. Well, since the announcement of the Greater Ottawa Correctional Complex in the summer of 2020, it has really made people who live in Kemptville and its surrounding area pause and ask themselves some important questions. Do I care? Do I care enough to do something about it? Is it worth taking a stand against the proposed plan? I know I asked myself these very same questions last year, very shortly after I read about the announcement in the NG Times, and my answer was emphatically yes. And the more I informed myself about the province's proposal, and the more I learned about the related issues in corrections, the judicial system, research on impacts of prisons and communities, the implications to our taxes, and the glaring lack of preparedness and honesty coming from those making decisions to place it here, the stronger and more confident I became about the decision I had taken.
Yes.
Thank you. Our goal has always been to seek the facts. Stick to the facts and share them with our community, and when the information provided didn't meet the common sense test, push back and point out that the province needed to do better. Because we were watching, we were paying attention, and we were holding them accountable for their statements. Whether you're a new resident in Kemptville or someone who has called this place home for decades, I'm willing to bet you went through an assortment of feelings when you first heard about the announcement too. Shock, concern, hopelessness, frustration, and maybe even some initial ambivalence, all possible feelings you may have had. But those feelings have passed, and they've been replaced with confidence, optimism, and focus because we've done our homework.
Yes. Woo!
We've witnessed the government's reluctance to engage with us. We've seen the contradictions in their commentary, and we know we have a strong justification to support our opposition with the resolve to continue to push back on such a poor plan. It's been almost 15 months of asking questions to Mr. Clark, Ms. Jones, Mr. Ford, and many others. Our questions have been clear, direct, poignant, and quite frankly, basic foundational pieces of this puzzle, and we've received almost nothing. I'm not satisfied, and I'm guessing you aren't either. Something that Solgen has had in the works since 2017. Something that is projected to cost taxpayers between $250 and $500 million. Is it just me, or does it seem like they're making this up as they go?
Yes. Yes.
Announcing it without consultation during a pandemic, that's easy. But having facts and figures to demonstrate the value and the need is something altogether different. I think they've failed in this regard. Environmental assessments and impact analyses, where are they? Responses to hundreds of questions we posed that they've had a full year to respond to, where are they? Minutes from alleged meetings with stakeholder groups, where are they? Plans to cover OPP costs for the facility without affecting our taxes, where are they? 135 pages withheld by the Ministry of the Solicitor General. Where are they? And unfortunately, I could go on and on. In the absence of facts to support a decision, press pause, recalibrate, take a step backward, and ponder the possibility that there could be a better plan, a better solution, one with lasting value and positive perennial benefit.
Yes.
But you have to have leadership. The leadership to acknowledge a poor decision and the willingness to say this is not the only way. Our question is there this leadership amongst the people making these decisions? It is all of the reasons I've discussed today and many others that further support our collective opposition that we remain steadfast in our 4 requests of the provincial government. 1, immediately enact a moratorium on construction of the proposed Kemptville prison.
Yes.
2, hold robust consultation, real consultation, on how best to develop the land in Kemptville, as well as hold public and stakeholder consultations on whether building a new prison in Eastern Ontario is the best way to promote public safety and the best use of public funds.
Yes.
3, should a decision to build a new prison be an outcome of these consultations, start the site selection process over.
Yes.
The first one they conducted has clearly been determined to be flawed. And 4, release all documents withheld by the Ministry of the Solicitor General concerning the site selection. It's a small list. It's a reasonable list. And it's one that didn't come from Job or CAPP. It's one that came from all of us that call this place home. So where do we go from here? We stay committed to our efforts. We stay engaged and we continue to be vocal. Those are the things that we can do in the coming days and the cold months ahead. The province is hopeful that we'll lose our focus and that complacency and short memories will prevail. I, for one, won't be giving up. And I'm confident that all of you here today and our neighbors, family, and friends in the community won't be giving up either. Thank you.